Phenomenal team, which I do want to shout out to Black Rifle Coffee. We got all the marketing people here on Sunday because they are crushing it. Best people in the game.
As he's covering for me, more of what I was saying was the design iteration. So I took this from the very beginning with the design. Was like, man, I want to have this really cool elk design. And there's an elk back here.
Yeah, there is. Apparently we like elk.
So from start to finish, I wanted to really curate not only the design but the coffee. So when I came up with this, I wanted a mythical being essentially that doesn't exist.
Wait,
and
those don't exist?
They don't exist. Plus it's elk season, so I wanted something that would be seasonally specific.
Next year, and tell me like Santa Claus isn't real or something.
It's not.
If there's skinny
real.
kids watching
Not
there,
real.
he's real.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully there's no children watching this. I would imagine. So, design. I think Matt actually plugged in more on the bag design. I plugged in on this specific design in the center, and then of course flying off with the back. You've got the description. These are new bags, so it's called a quad seal square bottom bag with a zipper. So
Which little sidebar too, for all the bags upcoming, this is actually the bag we're transitioning to, which is phenomenal. I don't know about you guys. The other ones, I either have to cut them open with a knife or trying to peel them open. It was always challenging. But this guy,
look at that.
You got a pull tab on here. I'm just going for it.
Yeah, go for it. Pull that off.
Woo! And it's resealable right here.
Look at that. It's like a little sandwich bag. But it's not a sandwich. It's coffee. So don't think you're gonna get. It's not a sandwich.
You could make like a coffee sandwich, bread and coffee.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it tastes good.
Okay, so from start to finish with the design, the bag was really just myself and Matt designing it. Our team ordered these probably 6 months ago, I think. By the time that we got these in.
And if you guys are just joining the live stream, we're talking about the ECS, the exclusive coffee subscription that we came out with Black Rifle Coffee, which is micro lot, super exclusive, very, very limited quantities. And this was Evan's take on how do we provide the highest quality of coffee and kind of cycle through different regions and provide people with really crazy, funny, cool artwork that we have going on for this campaign. And then some of the best coffee I've ever had. Like Matt and team were doing the cuppings on some of the future roasts in here, and I was blown away of how good it tastes.
So some of the best coffee you've had? Like, where have you had better coffee? Just wondering.
Probably in the Idaho mountains with you on a river.
All right, good. All right, that's just checking there.
Yeah.
So we got your brewing.
I was actually at a hotel one morning. I just got my K-Cup out, and I was like, "This is the best ever."
Man, this instant
toilet water on
super
a plane.
good.
I was actually in Southwest. It had great coffee.
Yeah. Southwest is known for curating the coffee experience. They've known this forever. So, country of origin is Costa Rican. It's called a black honey process, and really, there's nothing to do with honey. So, just so you guys know, we can't get these things confused. What this is they let the cherry from, well, if you don't know, coffee actually grows in a cherry. So, in Costa Rica, they go out when it's ripe and they pick it, they put it in bags. And they let, as they spread out the coffee, they let it ferment, or they leave the cherry on it for an extended period of time. It turns into kind of a sludge, this black sludge. Black cherry processing, that's what it refers to. So it's a naturally processed coffee. We've got a way different profile. And when I say that, it's a way different taste than some of your other coffees that you've had with Black Rifle. This is going to be a much more distinct flavor. So it's roasted on a little bit lighter of a scale. You can taste hints of bourbon and caramel in there. I think it's one of my, right now, as far as like, if I could get this 365 days a year, if I could drink it 365 days a year, I would. The problem is we only got literally a few hundred pounds of this. So it's our finest attempt at being able to really give you a really high grade specialty coffee experience that will really try to expand your coffee horizon or your palate. And most of our coffees at Black Rifle, they'll score in the low 80s. So when we look at this on a 90 or 100 point scale, scoring a low 80s. This is about 4 points higher than your standard Just Black, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's much different. It's a much different taste. It's a much higher score. And these coffees will typically go for like $40 for a 12-ounce bag. But just the way that I started this company and why I felt it was super important for us to always have the best price for the best coffee was I really want to bring a great high-quality coffee to the masses and not have it so exclusive that people can't afford to buy it. So this is shipping and everything is included in that price. We're putting this on a subscription because we want to keep this consistent and keep punching it out every month. Next month, should we allude to next month?
I mean, we can maybe give away the name. We won't give away the actual decal.
Next month is Power Llama. So Power Llama is next month. Okay. Great. That's great. So,
wow, yeah.
Dan.
Thanks, Dan. He was giving us numbers how people are coming in. I'm glad. It's good. We're almost out.
I really.
He told us. He was like, oh.
This does feel like a QVC show.
Yeah, it does. I do.
Oh my God, we're almost out.
Wow! Sham! Wow! Look how clean the table is, Frank. No, it's really exciting, man. On the ECS here, it was really just a way of just providing, honestly, an artistic approach to crazy designs that we come up with in the middle of the night, and then great quality coffee. So, very limited though. So,
yeah, we.
I just fucking feel like I'm gonna. Fucking
seriously
TV, yeah. Very limited.
So let's just brew this coffee.
Let's just brew the coffee.
Talk about brewing the coffee, then we can get into. Matt and I are like the worst salesmen in the world. Like, we do hate being. We're not salesmen right now. We're just trying to bring this to you guys. We hate telling people that there's not too many bags left because it sounds super cheesy, but it's the truth.
And one of the biggest points I want to make today is I took my sandals off because I didn't want to make Evan feel super short next to me. So I'm barefoot right now as we speak.
Yeah.
It's what friends do. It's what beef fries do.
And I put on my high heels, so those are good. Those are working for us.
All right, so we're going to do a Chemex pour over with this.
So the first thing you do with your Chemex, if you guys haven't seen these are the Black Rifle Coffee branded Chemexes. The reason that we use Chemex, glass doesn't translate taste. It's a great brewing method if you want to maintain consistency. So we sell the Chemexes, we sell the Hario scales, and for those guys that are into reloading or any type of precision work, whether that is machining or reloading, anything that requires consistency and replicating that over and over, you'll kind of appreciate these things, which is glass doesn't translate taste. You have to have a scale because you continue to have to weigh your coffee against your water to coffee ratios, and you have to have a gooseneck kettle or some type of kettle where you can adjust your temperature, because coffee will taste much differently. If you were to brew this, and let's say we're putting it through the Chemex at 190 degrees at a 10-to-1 ratio, it would be a much different taste than if you were to run it through at a 207 degree at a 20-to-1 ratio. So 20-to-1 ratio.
You're a 204 guy, right?
I do. So my darker coffees, I like a higher temperature. My lighter coffees, I like a lower temperature. And the reason for that, most of my lighter coffees are really, they're delicate coffees. So you want to run them through at a lighter temperature, all the way down sometimes to like 196, depending. This coffee, I like it at 197. I said my suggested brewing was 197 to 200, and you can brew it from a 15.5 all the way up to a 17 ratio. I like it at a 16, so I'm at 197 and 16 ratio. I like everything at 16 because I typically like to roast everything for that profile. So the first thing you do, we'll just get right into it.
We are brewing the exclusive Coffee Club subscription, Flying Elk. So if you're just tuning in, that's what's going on. Evan's going to, I had a little late night with the grand opening last night, so I need to be caffeinated.
So, 1,500 people showed up to Bernie last night. We were up there past 10 o'clock. We had most of the people from our Black Rifle Coffee San Antonio office were up there. So much fun, man. So many cool people. So you warm up your Chemex. You run water through your filter. You warm up your Chemex because you don't want this huge differentiation or the flexion. the difference in temperature. You fold your edge down on the front, so you take 3 folds, fold it down in your filter, pop it in there. You clear or tear your scale. I'm going to put 30 grams in here.
See how precise you can get it. Oh! 31. 30.5.
There it is.
Whoa. That's good.
Okay,
I like the delay. There. I heard that.
There it is. Come on, come on. You should just grind the exact amount that you need.
There you go.
But I didn't do it. So exact. So I've got 30 grams of coffee in here. I'm going to run through this at a 16-to-1 ratio, which means you have to multiply 30 times 16. 480. Clear it out.
I'm glad you did that, Matt.
I do it every day. So the way that I like to brew this coffee is I've got 30 grams. I double the amount of water weight after I tear. So I'm going to do 60 grams of water. In this first pour, I'm going to wait 60 seconds. So I'm going to start my clock.
It's so scientific. I love it.
You're going to see a full bloom in this, which the full bloom in this coffee, you'll see it start to rise like bread in the oven. It's actually a really cool process. You'll see the bubbles come up from the top. It's fairly interesting as far as being able to just look at your coffees. You'll also be able to tell how close to the roaster your coffees are if they actually have some type of steeping or rise with your brew times. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've got 60 grams of water in there. I'm at 50 seconds. We're going to hit it again. We're going to double this. Yeah, we're going to double this.
So another 60?
I'm going to go 120 on this one. So 180. You do it nice and slow. You start in your center. You work your way out. You don't really want to put your water down the edges of your filter. Ooh, went a little bit over.
It's okay. The more black water, the better for me.
Oh, man.
You know?
You know what? So I like to double water weight every time. There's multiple ways to do this. The hipsters like the way that they do it. I like the way that I do it. I'm also working to curate this and replicate it over and over and over again, not necessarily having a stopwatch. So one of the reasons why I like to use 30 grams, and I like to continue to double the amount of water weight over the course of time, is I don't always have a scale with me. I travel with one typically, but if I'm going to drink coffee in the backcountry, I don't have a damn scale with me. And if I'm not using Black Rifle Coffee Instant, which I would also highly recommend.
And you said you weren't a good salesman. Look
I
at
know,
that.
I know.
It's a great
I know,
segue.
Right? It's a great segue.
And if you get cold, the beanies out this year will also be great for you.
Yeah, double again.
When we did start back in the day of Black Rifle early on, I came up to see Evan in Salt Lake City, and he asked me if I wanted a cup of coffee. And I said, absolutely. 45 minutes later, I had a cup of coffee. And I was like, what?
It took me a while.
What are you doing? And then I realized how good it was when it touched my lips, and I said, okay.
We've all been there.
It was worth it.
Yeah, we've all been there.
When it touches your lips?
Yeah,
we've
all been there.
Of course.
Yeah, every so often.
And if any of you guys are just coming in, we're talking about the ECS, the new exclusive coffee subscription we have, which are super micro lot exclusive roasts that we're putting out on a subscription basis. And we're brewing up Flying Elk, which is the first one out. A little unboxing experience we had here. Look at that. Little wax on there. Super sexy.
Super sexy.
Comes
and
with a sticker,
check that out.
Oh, look at
man. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that shirt.
It's a big Flying Elk.
It's a big Flying Elk.
Do you think Flying Elk bugle different than other elk?
I think it's just based on airspeed and quite possibly some gravity. It might just sound different. No big deal.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because
no
if
big
they're
deal.
traveling at a very high velocity, the air might...
I think it might just
These are
sound
questions
different.
we need the answers to.
Yeah. We've got, so in the upcoming months, we've got a Peruvian coming out. We've got another Brazilian. We do some Brazilian coffees. We've got a Vietnamese. The Vietnamese is freaking incredible, man.
Yeah.
Like, the bag is cool. The swag is cool. Like, everything's cool about it. Got an Ethiopian. We've got, I've got a Yemenis, a Brazilian, we've got a Guatemalan, we've got a Panamanian. So for the next year, every month, these specialty micro lot coffees will be dropping every month. Most of these coffees, we just don't have the ability to get a lot of them. We have the ability to get a few 100 pounds, and that'll be it. They won't be back. We can't really see them. When I say that, these farms will have so much available for us, or...
Well, that's the really cool part about that. Not only are the designs one and done, pretty much, then also the coffee is going to be the similar way, because they're scouring all these cool farms for these micro lots, and
all right,
they're doing a great job.
We're at 4 minutes 30 seconds, 480.
Bomb,
Throw that in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Got to mix it up. You want some of this?
I would love some.
Good. Is that going to be okay in this cup?
I think
so.
This
cup.
That's good.
I like that cup too.
Marketing's probably mad at me because this isn't out yet, but whatever.
It's not?
No. I do that all the time. Yeah. See, yeah. I'm getting looks over here. They yell at me all the time. Matt, stop wearing the Whoopie hoodie. It's not out yet. Stop. But hey.
Well,
I like what I like.
He does. He's a man of good taste. God, that's a good cup of coffee.
It's delicious. Look at that.
So we've got all of our roasts for the next 9 months are selected, ready to roll out. Every month, the ECS will drop the same type of situation. So we'll have your brewing instructions in here. We'll have the history of the coffee. You'll get this custom black bag, a sticker, and if you join, you do get a letter with your first subscription. But the following ones, we'll drop little special things in there every now and again. Yeah, right.
That's pretty cool.
Slick. Yeah, it's super slick. And this is really meant to get people way more involved with these really micro lot specialty coffees. The interesting thing about coffee is it has about twice the tasting notes as wine. So you've got people that are hardcore wine heads, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, look at the legs, and it's it tastes like buttermilk and biscuits or whatever." I try to just tell people this is going to be different. It's going to be special. You might taste some caramel. You might taste some. In this one, we've got bourbon and caramel. We've got a lot of different profiles. But the big thing is it's being able to take your gooseneck kettle, your scale, your grinder, and really explore the profile. So run it at a lower temperature, run it at a higher temperature, explore the difference between what it tastes like at a 15.5 and a 17 as far as your water to coffee ratios. Because this is the coffee you can really see what coffee and how coffee changes.
Evan, is it available in K-cups or ground?
Sure isn't.
Enter.
No, it isn't. It's only ground. It's only whole bean.
Only whole bean.
Only whole bean. We can't grind this stuff. It's
no, it'd be an injustice. Definitely not putting in a single serve.
Nope, absolutely not. So, who has any questions for either myself or Matt?
The question we've seen so far is the grind size for brewed in the pour over.
The grind size for brewing it in a pour over, what you have to think about is in between table salt and pepper. So that's about the right size. You want to use a burr grinder, not a blade grinder. We sell those on Black Rifle too. The reason for that is a blade grinder chops the coffee. It doesn't put it into a consistent grind size. Whereas a burr, it smashes and rotates it and puts it into the exact granularity that you'll need. And two, you can adjust your granularity. So if you're too coarse and you're running through 30 grams of coffee in this same sequence, but you're doing it in about a minute, that means that you're probably too coarse. So,
and that's also on the brewing instructions here, right in the bottom we have for the grind size.
We got some grind size. We've got everything you guys need here as far as on your card how to brew this. We also have a ton of instructional videos on YouTube. So if you need some additional information, you can go to blackrifleguy.com. They'll direct you towards the correct sequence of information. I don't know. We've got a ton of instructional content. And you can also DM me. I mean, I get DMs all the time, every day, probably like 10, 15.
Slide into Evan Hafer's DMs.
Slide them in there, man.
Heard it from the man.
Yeah. What else you got?
Only coffee
the
questions.
question we had is, the preferred method is obviously Chemex. What happens if you brew it through a drip? Is it still going to be worth it?
Yeah. It's. I would always recommend that you buy a drip machine that is of high quality and high value. The reason for that is because the water temperature is consistent. So you don't want to go out and spend $20 for this bag of coffee and then your water temperature is all over the map on a good on a brewer. Just go invest the money in a good brewer, or the kettle, scale, and the Chemex is the same cost as a good brewer. It's actually less expensive. An AeroPress is a really good way to make some incredible coffees. You can get one of our Hario pour overs. Our Hario pour overs are a great way to get into just making incredible coffees, 1 cup at a time. This cup, so my favorite cup that we made out here, it's actually made to make exactly 30 grams of coffee at a 1:16 water to coffee ratio. It holds exactly 480 grams right up to the brim. So you can start taking your Hario or your Chemex and your Gooseneck and really making these incredible cups of coffee every morning. It's the same thing I do. It's the exact same thing I do every morning. This is my 3rd cup of flying off.
What about espresso?
You can grind it and put it through an espresso machine. It's not, I didn't roast it for that, but it's kind of like, can you shoot an elk with a 50 cal? Yeah, you can. Like, it's not suggested, but you can sure get it done.
Great analogy. Solid. What else, Dave?
We also have some people that are having some trouble finding it on the site. How do you go
You
about
have to
getting
be a
this
coffee club member. So let's include the link in the comments below so people can go check it out.
You have to be a standard coffee club member.
Yeah, we didn't have enough. We didn't have enough coffee to release this to everybody, all of our customers. So we felt it was only appropriate to offer this first to our coffee club members, which is something we do every month with all of our products, actually, is we offer all of our new products to our coffee club members first before we take them out to our regular customers. So if you're not a coffee club member, I would highly recommend that you join
free
the
shipping
coffee
on
club.
your orders. You get exclusive deals. You get first look at all products. You have partnership people that we work with. You get discounts. It's the coolest thing. Exclusive content. We built that pretty much for ourselves. Like, how awesome can this thing be? And so if you're not a coffee club member, I strongly suggest that.
I started the coffee club for myself. That's the reason I started the company, was actually for the coffee club. So it's a really cool experience, man.
I'm 3 members of the coffee club that I pay.
Yeah.
I'm Whole Bean for my espresso, K-Cups that I give away to law enforcement every time I see them, and then now this one.
Typically when they pull you over, is that
I'm like, sorry, I was going 900 miles an hour, here's a bag of coffee, and then they take the coffee and give me a ticket, as they should, of course.
68 over.
What else do you got, Dave?
Someone was asking about, is all the equipment you're using on the table available on the site?
It is. Yeah, it sure is. The Chemex Hario scale. Hario. The Gooseneck kettle. All the stuff is available. We've got multiple different options out there too. So you can have the Hario pour over. We've got multiple pour over devices. Everything's available at Black Rifle Coffee. Yes, Frank.
On the Lander, we have that kit available.
Boom! On the Lander, we got the kit available. Holy shit!
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah, Frank the Tank. What else you got, Dave?
Well, Dave's looking. We're talking about the exclusive Coffee Club subscription. If you've been watching the whole way through, you've heard that probably a few times out of my mouth, but we're just making sure you guys know what we're doing. Have to be a Coffee Club member to get this super exclusive micro lot. New roast profiles every single month. New bag designs you can only get once. It's maybe I'll say it's kind of fucking awesome.
It's super awesome.
So when pouring into the Chemex, you try to avoid hitting the filter. Why is that?
Because what happens with the I'll just go ahead.
We'll just take a sip.
I'm just gonna have a seat.
Oh,
here.
we can do that.
Yeah. What do you think? So
How's
the
that,
reason
Dave?
that you want to pour from the center out with your Chemex is because if you're pouring water on the side of the paper filter, it runs around the coffee versus directly through the center.
Boom. That makes absolute sense.
Right?
Because you want to extract the coffee black magic out of it thus the cup.
Thus the cup.
Delivering the tasty caffeine to your face.
Yeah.
Hole.
It's a bold black.
Is that a good
mouth
comment?
filler. It's a bold black mouth filler.
I see Dave laughing.
What about us old timers that don't use digital money? Do you have a number you can call?
That's funny. We actually do. If you call our customer service, you will talk to one of our representatives either here in Salt Lake City or San Antonio.
Yeah.
And they are awesome, and they will take care of anything you got, man. Mm-hmm. Appreciate that.
Ryan runs that team. Air Force veteran is a pretty rad dude. We got multiple people on that team that are veterans. We got retired Marine Corps guy. Marine Corps guy.
Marine Corps guy.
Marine. Why did I say Marine Corps guy? That sounds weird.
You say Marine Corps guy.
Yeah, it's a Marine Corps. U.S. Marine Corps.
U.S. Marine Corps.
Yep. Semper Fidelis.
Semper Fidelis. Which the Marines were out at the event last night in Bernie. We had the Marines and I believe the Army National Guard that had tents there.
Yeah.
Those Marines, they love to do pull-ups.
They do. They love the
They looked at me like maybe Matt should do pull-ups. I was like, nah.
I tried to get Jared to go over there and do them.
Oh.
Which I thought would be super
He
funny.
could pull the bar to the
I
ground.
thought, yeah, it's a reverse. It's based on mass. It's like a gravity.
He's
mass
watching this
issue.
right now. You know.
Yeah, I hope he is.
What's up, Dave?
Let me try to find. Is only one subscription needed for the micro lot coffees every month?
Yep.
Kind of explain the
So
subscription
the
level.
exclusive coffee subscription program is you have to be a member in order to join. Once you join, you can choose the amount of bags you want per month. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever that is, you set it and forget it. Every month we'll be releasing them at the same time, so you'll get it at the same time every month. These actually don't ship, which I should say, these don't ship until they start shipping on the 2nd. So all this stuff is literally being packed up right now to be shipped out on the 2nd.
Yep.
Okay. And does this have to be in addition to your coffee club, or can this be your coffee club subscription?
Yeah, right now it just has to be an addition, but if this is what you want to replace your current coffee club with, all you have to do is pause your other coffee club and then activate this one. Super easy.
Yeah, and as a member, you can pause. So if you buy Black Rifle all the time, again, the club, we're like salesmen today, but whatever. You can pretty much pause your club anytime. You can talk to a customer service rep; they'll take care of you. So if you're going on vacation with your wife, your husband, whatever, you can pause it, come back, and then have it reactivate.
Yeah, no gender assumption.
Yeah.
Matt wasn't trying to. He wasn't.
You're
trying,
human. If you go on vacation with your human,
you're a human couple. You're a couple of humans.
Would you recommend that blend for cold brew?
Yeah, I would. It'd be amazing in cold brew.
Yes.
It's on the lighter side, so stick to your standard cold brew ratios. So I like to do 12 ounces per gallon. You can back that off. But it's easiest just to use gallon, 12-ounce bag of coffee, coarse grind, let it sit or steep for 24 to 48 hours before you take it out. The Toddy cold brew kit's probably the best one to use for that. But I've used everything. You can use it like literally a jar if you need it. It's super easy.
That's all I drink is cold coffee for the most part. My fave.
Yeah, it's warms your heart.
You see, it cools it down.
Yeah,
Cools it down. We can't talk
cold,
today.
Cold coffee, warm heart.
It's Sunday, you know?
Yeah,
Sunday fun day. That's
That's
about
it?
Dave?
Well,
All
thanks
right.
a lot, man. I mean, I do see you pretty much every day, so it's not like we're doing anything different, or differently. It's really good. It's really good
Awesome.
to see
Well, do you
man.
want to wrap this up when we're like a little quick overview of what we got going on?
He's trying to prompt me into doing salesman stuff.
No,
but
I was just going to talk
it
about
is.
Exclusive Coffee Club.
Exclusive.
We just wanted to give this a shout out about what we got going on. Show you guys that we're always trying to recreate and create new epic stuff for the company and just stuff that we love to participate in and provide that to you guys. And so this is really what Evan wanted to do with the team, was provide a super awesome micro lot exclusive one-time only roast and cycle through, and that's what we did.
Yep, ECS available to Coffee Club subscribers. Now we're probably out, to be honest with you, but definitely try to register for next month, so you'll see it. If you don't get in this month, register your email for next month, because they're after this they're probably going to be gone. So register for next month. Next month's going to be Power Llama. It's incredible coffee. I like it actually more than this coffee. So, but maybe it could be that I've been drinking this a lot for the last month too. So I like all these coffees. I mean, I drink 5-6 cups of coffee a day, depending on the day. I like the lighter cups of coffee yeah, exactly. But this truly a give back to our customer. I really want to provide them something unique and different. And this is the best value for a specialty micro lot coffee. These other coffees out there, you're going to pay $40 for those things. Like, this is the best way for me to give back to you guys and tell you, like, we're super committed to making sure you have the best experience at Black Rifle Coffee. This is a lot of hard work. We've been down the rabbit hole on this for over a year. I can't be more excited to launch this, and I can't be more proud of the team and all their hard work for what they've done. This really just exemplifies how great of a company Black Rifle is. You know, we roast this, which is, I think, another important thing. We roast this coffee, and you know, we've invested a lot of time, money, and education into making sure that our roasters are not only trained, but they're highly proficient at expanding different roast profiles. We're really proud of that. You know, we're hiring as many people as we possibly can as we continue to grow. We don't outsource this stuff. You know, we print our own shirts, we roast our own coffee. You know, we're manufacturers and we're marketers. A lot of people are they're out there marketing stuff. They're not roasting their own stuff. They're not printing their own shirts. They're not stitching their own hats. We're doing all of it. I think that's something that everybody should be super proud of. So if you're a customer, you should be proud of the company that you're supporting through all your subscription and your purchases. So
yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers to
we
that.
Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'm gonna go get really caffeinated.
Yeah.
Want to go to the range?
Sure.
Okay.